Great morning. Think about that. That's a great way to start the day, is just to ask yourself, why wouldn't today be any different than any other day and be another great morning, right? I guess it's just about changing your perspective and the way you look at things. Interesting time, interesting time for human beings, interesting time it's like a gut check, right? We also have to kind of reorganize what it is that we call a good day and all that stuff, My thoughts is I'm just going to go to my tool belt, and I'm going to invite all you guys to do that too. Hey, what's up, Beth? Good morning, rise and shine. Yeah, maybe even a great morning, right? Depends on how we look at it. But what I've been doing over the past 6 years, it's interesting, I realize it now. This whole concept of the rise up and everything like that, it's been about personal growth, and it's been about moving forward in life and things like that, and improving and optimizing my life. But very often, and I've gone through this a couple of times, very often all of a sudden when the shit hits the fan, we realize that a lot of the stuff that we've been doing to improve ourselves, we thought we were doing those things to advance ourselves in life. But sometimes you got to go dig back or reach back to that well, that tool belt, and pull some of those things out that come in handy during these times. So real quickly, my thought is that, I've already committed the rest of my life to waking up in the morning and setting up my day and everything like that. I typically come live once or twice a week. But I just decided that selfishly for myself, because I get a lot out of this, coming live to you and sharing my thoughts. Because sometimes I just write them down, but I don't vocalize them. And vocalizing things is huge. I just figured selfishly for myself, I'm going to vocalize them every morning. Yep, I said every morning. Anytime I ever do something and I commit to doing it every day, I always have this moment where I say, shit, what did I just do? But I'm actually excited to come out stronger from all this. But yep, I'm going to be here every morning for anybody that wants to set their day up and win the morning, because we know if we win the morning, we win the day. So anyway, I labeled this. I was thinking about this day, and I'm just going to share some thoughts, be with you for about 9-10 minutes. I was just journaling. I'm reading a great book right now, by the way. Not going to stop reading books, right? They come in handy right now. But reading a book called It Takes What It Takes, just about a sports psychologist and performance expert, conveniently talking about setting up your mind. And also, I went and I did my rise up this morning, and I went to the gym, and it was interesting. A lot of things are changing right now, right? It was the first day that the Peloton teacher had nobody in their class. That was weird. I kind of felt a little bit, it was pretty cool virtually. This whole thing that I'm doing as a virtual coach, it was pretty interesting. And a quick message to all of our clients out there, you don't have to worry about and panic about your fuelings and all that stuff, because our company's different, right? We actually are excited about this opportunity to help more people. So you don't have to worry. You don't have to go on a run on product or anything like that. Our company's not like Costco, you know what I mean? So yeah, everybody's going to be not only getting their fuelings, but they're going to be getting healthy during this time. But lots of interesting things changing, right? And change is a good thing. Right? We know that. It's not always easy when we're approached by it, but it's a good thing. So here, I'm gonna read some things that I wrote down this morning, because I always find that if I write things down, I own them. Hey, what's up, Karen? Joe? Everybody's coming on. This is fun. So lots of things been canceled, right? Think about that. Everything, we're seeing all these things be canceled every day. Today you're going to find out about new things that have been canceled. However, I want to remind you that some things haven't been canceled, like resiliency, right? And commitment to living our best life. Those things have not been canceled. You see, adversity doesn't mean that we stop and go the other way. It just means that we get to have the opportunity to be a champion. I was thinking about this. Do you know what a champion is? If you look at anybody that is considered a champion, you'll see that those are people that just overcame adversity, either with grace or they stomped it, right? So if you just look at that right now, and you look at the adversity that you have in front of you, it's either happening to you or for you, right? And if you look at it as an opportunity to be great, well, it's happening for you. So just quickly, I heard, I'm very, very moved by songs, and I really, really, my brain just goes into a massive creative mode, and I get inspired by songs. And I heard this song this morning by Sia. I recommend that everybody goes and listens to this song and listens to the words, Unstoppable by Sia. I think she wrote it for this day. Anyway, so this concept, that I'm kind of talking about, it helps you frame things frame things in the realm of things that happen for you rather than to you. There's a lot of crazy stuff happening right now that can easily put us in this kind of like reactive state, right? Where the perception is that, when I say a reactive state, I mean that we could perceive that things are happening against us, right? Like I was thinking this morning that a lot of people may have you either woke up this morning in fear, like most of us. I probably would say I always start off with fear. That's why I do a rise up, and that's why I get my mind right. But if you let that fear move into the next realm where you become a victim of the day and you start to worry and things like that, the mistake there is that you start to worry because you feel like things are happening to you. So I just want you to pause right now for a second. Yeah, you love Sia, don't you? And just think about that. Think about feeling that the fear and things like that, and just recognize that in that moment, you're kind of like your back's up against a wall. You don't know which way to go because of the uncertainty. But recognize in that moment what is actually happening is that you are in some way, shape, or form, and I speak about this all the time, making an attempt to control the uncontrollable, right? So here's an interesting thought. If you are trying to control the uncontrollable, that comes from a place, and then don't take this offensively, but it comes from a place of not knowing, or we could even call it ignorance, right? The thing about what's going on, and by the way, this is not the last thing that's ever going to go on. This is not the last opportunity that you're ever going to have to grow, right? There's going to be many, many more opportunities. Interesting to look at as an opportunity. But in the moment that you're trying to control the uncontrollable, there's a little bit of ignorance to it because you're trying to figure things out that are unfigureoutable, right? So many of you are also potentially feeling victim to a scenario. Think about this. This is a big one. Many of you are maybe even feeling victim to a scenario where you were kind of like, you were just starting to get your momentum going, right? Things were just starting to go your way, right? And you were maybe on a roll. We were on a roll, and we're still on a roll. But I'm saying that there's certain things that we were doing every day that we were now, what a blessing it is to figure out the things that we've been taking for granted, right? So, and by the way, do me a favor and share this with other people, because I think this message will be helpful. Many of you thought that you were on a roll, and all of a sudden your roll was abruptly stopped. And, that can put you below the line, make you feel like a victim, right? So we all have those things going on, but let's start from a place of gratitude, right? Let's start from a place of gratitude today. So what I want to offer you is a way of cleansing, like etch-a-sketching the fears this morning as your computer boots up, right? And let's start from a place of gratitude today and peel back the layers. This is a really interesting exercise that I went through this morning, and I want to offer it to you. Let's peel back the layers of the things that we have and are grateful for. Now, I remember when you're struggling in life and somebody says you should be grateful for what you have, you just want to punch them in the mouth right time. But that's the glory of the Facebook Live, is you guys can't punch me in my mouth. You can send me a thumbs up or a heart, but there's no like fist. Well, you probably put a fist in there if you want to punch me in the mouth. And if that makes you feel better, throw a punch. But let's peel back the layers of the things that we have. Just peel them back, and let's get to this new reality where maybe this day will be perceived in a totally different way, okay? I recently read a book called The Sapiens, by the way, and I learned about the history of mankind. This is nothing what we're going through right now. Nothing. Here we are, and I want you to enjoy the insignificance of our life and take the pressure off of yourself so you can just enjoy this day. Just enjoy this day rather than worrying about tomorrow. We've been wiped out like thousands of times, right? We've been around for a long time, guys. A lot of us are living within this realm of trying to extend our lives as much as possible within 100 years. We've been around for 50,000 years, right? So this is not our first rodeo, guys, and we can get through this no problem. It's just part of our new life. But if we peel the layers back of the thing that we have and what we're grateful for down to the core of what truly matters most, what we're going to do is we're going to find the wins and upside to things that are going on. So remember this. Remember, this idea that I'm talking about, it's a choice. What I want to do with you guys every day is just I want to challenge your brains to look at things a different way. As Wayne Dyer always said, if you change the way you look at things, things you look at change. Maybe things are in really good shape right now. Right? Hard for you to say because you're in that victim mode. All you see is what you can't do and what's happened to you and what's happening to your kids and all that stuff. But what if we all of a sudden found out that that's our reality, right? What if you finally succumb to the idea that this is our reality and you start to go into let's make the best of things, right? That's where I want you to go right now. Right? And also Chicken and I were talking about this. We didn't want to ruffle any feathers, but Chicken and I were talking about this the other day. We said, our society is so crazy and we get so into adversity. If we wake up tomorrow morning, when the newscasters say it's going to snow and then it doesn't and you're all bummed out, what if we woke up this morning and found out that the summer came and the coronavirus disappeared? I bet you some of us would be a little upset. We'd have all this food. Man, first of all, I want to come over to your house for dinner because I've been watching you guys all on the news. You guys got way too much food. I want to come over to your house for dinner. But what would happen if it actually sucked, right? What would happen if it went away? To a certain degree, I think you'd be pissed off, right? What a dud. Oh, they said all this stuff and we made all these plans and everything like that and we got uprooted and all that stuff. Chicken doesn't want to ruffle feathers. That's funny, Lee. I didn't know how you knew that, but that's, my chicken. Okay. So I also want to remind everybody again, trying to control the uncontrollable, it's a form of ignorance, right? And ignorance is the breeding ground for things like fear and anxiety. So if you're feeling fear and anxiety, I just want you to know it's coming from a place of ignorance. Don't take that personally. Ignorance meaning lack of knowledge. Right? And this is an interesting situation because it's hard to find the right information. I tell you, you're not going to find it on the news, and you're not going to find it. I want to tell you right now, I am no expert on the coronavirus, and neither are you, and neither are everybody else. Yeah, of course, I'm going to drink more water. I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to practice social distancing and stuff like that. But more importantly, I'm going to control the controllable and work on my head, right? And that's what we can all do. So freedom, things like freedom, hope, and faith come from a place of knowledge rather than ignorance. And knowing, that idea of knowing can breed a level of peace and calm that may actually think about this, may actually put you in a place that was better than the things were before you perceived this crisis. Do you realize the day before this happened, the day before you heard about something happening in China, you still probably complained about stuff. You had your challenges that day. You just took a lot of things for granted, right? So this thing comes along and boom, you're forced into this place where you got to start being grateful. You got to start recognizing what really, really matters. So it's easy to peel back this onion. So I posted this the other day and I got a good reaction. Can anybody see the opportunity to get back to the basics that we've all taken for granted? Do you know that we were all complaining before the coronavirus? Do you know we were all complaining that technology is moving too fast and our kids are doing this and that, and we were blaming technology for that, right? Technology is coming in pretty handy right now, isn't it? Right? I was talking to my dad about that the other day, and pretty happy to have technology. Imagine if we couldn't communicate like this. This right now at this moment, this is our social gathering, right? So that's why I'm going to come every day as well. So anybody see the opportunity? Anyone wonder if this will end up? Has anyone stopped to think if this thing that's going on right now might actually end up moving us forward? Right? Anyone wonder if this is a good thing for humanity? Perhaps we're actually moving too fast in life, right? And the only way, universe has been sending us so many signals to tell us that, but we haven't listened, right? But perhaps this is the way the universe is saying, hey, you guys aren't slowing down, so I'm gonna slow you down and get you back to the source of what's really important. That's why I'm gonna think today that we are blessed. We are blessed beyond belief. Right? We are blessed because we have this opportunity right now to really, really focus on the things that matter most. So let's take this day, right? We keep peeling back what really, really matters most to us, and you're going to get to the core that everything that you really, really care about, you still have. As a matter of fact, it's even more apparent now because now you're forced to focus on it. You're forced to focus on it, right? So does anybody feel blessed because of that? Do you see the gift? Listen, I don't want everybody to die and all that stuff. Please don't get me wrong there. But isn't it interesting how the universe forces our hand to look at the things that matter most? I feel that this is a sign that what I'm supposed to do today is focus on the things that matter most, right? What I eat, what I drink. I'm still drinking a gallon of water a day, right? I am having a little bit of coffee this morning, and I'm loving that. And I'm speaking to you. I'm exercising. I'm doing all those things, but I'm going to really focus on what matters most. And by the way, to all you caretakers and caregivers, parents, taking care of your parents and all that stuff, I just want all of you to know that you're allowed to take care of yourself too, right? You'll be better for helping other people. So let's take this day and acknowledge what matters most and be grateful, and then look at what it is that you control. This is what I do every morning, and it's completely shifted my life. Look at what it is that you control and what it is that you don't control, and release yourself today. Release yourself today from the things that are uncontrollable, right? Because if you're trying to control the uncontrollable, that's where the ignorance is, and ignorance is a fertile ground to grow a plant called fear and anxiety. So release yourself from the uncontrollable and focus on the things that you can do. And if you focus on the things that you can do today, you're going to be in great shape, right? So let's get creative right now. We have this thing called the cranial vault, right? Let's get creative right now and let's see how we can pivot. Let's see how we can pivot and move with the times and perhaps even get in service to others, right? Maybe your life is so blessed today, and maybe you have so much once you focus and peel back the layers to the core of what it is that matters most. Maybe you actually have an abundance and have things to give others that either can't see this. This is why I want you to push the share button. Either can't see this or actually do have less. Maybe they're in a harder situation than you. Maybe it's time for you to recognize the opportunity you have to serve others. So let's have a great morning, right? Let's not have a good morning. Let's have a great morning today, right? And live this bigger life. And remember, this is the key. This is my close. Remember that right now, a smile, it's actually a sign of bravery, right? A lot of people watching, right? Remember that right now a smile is a sign of bravery, and how you can pay this forward, right, is by smiling right now, by handling the controllable and what it is that you actually can do, and that's how you respond to all this stuff, right? And smiling right now is how you can take these ideas we just spoke about and pay it forward to other people. Love and appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.